It's the 27th of September 2012. Lovely day today, thank God. Just going to do another video, just an overall video of what's going on, where we're at, and probably do one more, maybe two more before the season finishes. Everything's still growing really well. We've probably picked to date, I would say, just under a ton of chilies from the main greenhouse area. The aubergines out of control, to be totally honest. We really need to grow them up strings next year, so we'll choose maybe 3, 4, 5 heads, chase them up strings like the tomatoes on the right, and because there's no light getting in, as you can see, the aisle is completely, there is no aisle on the left hand side just there. Got a little trial with a 4-pot system using organic fertiliser here. As you can see, the organic fertiliser hasn't got enough umph in it, no NPK value. So on the left we've got chilies in cocoa and pebbles, and on the right we've got them in alpha mix, which has obviously got some food content. That's why they look nicer. But yeah, we're messing about with organic feeds at the moment, so we'll keep you posted as time progresses. On this side we've got the traditional Thai chili with the seeds that came in from Thailand. They're growing absolutely brilliant. Slow starters, so I think we really need to get these planted up. They weren't planted up until probably March, April time this year. So we really need to get them in and planted probably December, very early January, so that we can ensure we get the crop, and also we can ensure that they turn red. What we're doing at the moment, because obviously we're coming to the end of the season, the frosts will start coming soon, and that will just kill the plant straight away, is we're turning the water off at the tanks just to hold the water off, starve the plants, and force the plant into sort of seeing in the end of its cycle before the frosts come. But I mean, these chilies, we were very concerned about them at the beginning of the year, as you probably look back on the videos, but as you can see now, they are just quite amazing, really. I mean, the yield looks pretty good. The quality of the plant is really good now, a bit out of control, as you can see. We've just got one huge, probably 4-metre spread of chilies and Thai aubergines. It's just a little bit out of control, but it's all a learning curve. These are little trials within trials, just to see how, what plants can do and what we can get out of them with the climate that we've got here in the UK. But the Thai chilies and the aubergines have done absolutely brilliantly. More support really needed for the chilies, and just a different way of growing the aubergines. So we'll grow them in sort of columns next year. So we'll, like the tomatoes, just beyond there, where we'll chase them straight up strings, 4 or 5 heads, and then you'll get more light in, and in theory we'll get more produce, because obviously the huge amount of leaf that's on the aubergines is just sheltering the fruit from forming. But we've done not too bad. The plants have grown, as you can see, very well indeed. And you can see some aubergines just there, look. So we're recording the yields on there as well. Tomatoes are done fine, coming to the end of their cycle now. 8.5 litre pot. These are in cocoa. We're using all different substrates, particularly in the main chili area. We put some herbs in here, but they haven't really done anything because it's the end of the season. So it was just a little trial to see if we could get some herbs, but it's too late now, really. So it's just too cold for them at night. Got the sun gold at the end. When these were put in late, I mean, they're, what are they, 12, 13 feet tall in an 8.5 litre pot. And then obviously the main area, which is, as I said, we probably picked around a ton of chilies so far. It's all been recorded, and there are still thousands and thousands of chilies on the plants. We picked yesterday, probably picked another 30-40 kilos yesterday, but yeah, it's growing really well. We're holding off on the water as well, so we're starving them of water at the moment. Probably turn the water on maybe once a day for an hour, and then leave it off for 24 hours just to hold them back and make the plants work hard and make them think that they're coming to the end of the cycle, which they will be, because the last thing we want to do is come in here find that the frost has hit the plants, and we're left with trying to pull off chilies with plants that are sort of rotting away. So we're trying to force them into finishing, really. But absolutely loaded with chilies. Different types of substrates. They're all proving pretty much of a muchness, if I'm honest. We're using Playground, we're using Canna, we're using Gold Label, we're using Alpha Mix, and various other mixes, and not really a great deal of difference from what we can see on the yields that are being produced at the moment. The plants are growing differently and do look differently, but there's really not much in it, if I'm totally honest. But I suppose once we've picked off all the chilies at the end of the season, then we'll have an honest value of weight. You know, once we've got to the end, hopefully, you know, depending on the weather, we can get to maybe the end of November. Yeah, probably the end of November if we're pushing it. All depends on the weather, really. If the weather starts to get cold at night, then we're in trouble, and we need to get the plants out and all the chilies off as fast as possible. But it's gone really well this season. We have no problems at all. We're using a mineral feed, so it's nice and clean. None of these silly additives that people say you should put in to make plants produce more. It's not necessary, you know. It's just an overkill in the industry quite often. It's a simple, tailor-made mineral powdered fertilizer, A and B, that we mix up in 2 stock tanks and then put equal amounts of A and B into the supply tanks, and that's it. No blockages of valves this year, or maybe one I think we've had amongst 1,000 plants, but it's an absolute no-brainer, really. It's very simple, very easy. We just flush the lines at the end where the hose pipe is, just there at the bottom, just to remove any sediment. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Really impressed. So we're probably next year, what we're going to do, we're probably going to do maybe a quarter chilies, maybe half aubergines, herbs. We're going to sell plants as well, because the demand for chili plants has been exceptional this year. So I think that's what we're going to do. But all in all, it's done really well. We've yielded pretty much what we expected, considering we had awful weather from April, May, June, and probably July. We've had, you know, intermittent sunshine, and September's been good. But yeah, as you can see, there are thousands of chilies still on there. So I'll speak to you shortly, and if you have any questions, just feel free to let us know at mail@autopot.co.uk. And just so that you know, because I've not mentioned it before, this area that the chilies are growing in is around 360 square metres. So it's only a small area, really. It looks big and looks impressive, but yeah, it's only really a small area. But you're not limited to the size. You can do 36,000 square metres if you want to. It's just larger tanks, higher up, and it will do exactly the same. So you're not limited to size, be it big or small. Okay, all right. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.